maybe YouTube might shut us down someday here.
Yeah.
They might be like, no Latter-day Saint stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Wow.
That would be a shame. But.
You know, is this a worn out phrase? Is President Oaks going to go the other way if and when he becomes prophet? Not the other way. Is President Oaks going to wane on this message? No, I don't think so. I think this is coming from our Heavenly Father.
I think we have a lot of legal battles coming up. And
Do you?
Yeah, I do. With the church I think the church is going to become a big center point and under attack. Did you see that new video that came out on Netflix? It was about the Mormons in the.
We're going to start getting persecuted.
That's what I think. I think that's going to be the next thing is the persecution of the saints, and I think Oaks is going to be the perfect prophet to have in place to help fight a lot of the legal issues that I think the church is going to face.
Stop bashing the kid that has goodly parents that was born. I, Troy, having been born to alcoholics and schizophrenics. That's first Troy.
I'm going to quote that one.
Got me out of there quickly.
No, I do think that maybe that's it. The end of the Gentiles is coming. We're going to get persecuted, and we're going to need that kind of guidance.
But that means we could have been warned. Time of the Gentiles, the world has been trumpeted. Remember when Moroni's trumpet dropped?
The world is gonna go, but now everybody knows that you can't stop for too long. Got to keep going, don't really know where the world is gonna go.
All right, brothers and sisters, welcome back once again to A Vocal Vortex, The Last Dispensation. You're living in it. I'm your host, Troy, and I'm here with Terry Hohen, who is going to be a reoccurring guest once or twice a month?
Yeah, something like that.
So he's going to be coming on. And Terry, give us a quick bio.
Yeah, so born, raised in the church, served a mission in Jamaica, went to, yeah.
All right, moving on.
There you go.
You're 40, you're married, you got a couple kids.
Yeah.
And you're a clerk.
Yeah, pretty much.
But the clerk doesn't define you.
Oh, it totally defines me.
And you're a tax guy, which is boring as crap. So don't even talk about that. Anyway, I love you, brother. Anyway, we're going to talk about what the prophet, so there's what the prophet has been talking about. I love this man. He is the mouthpiece of the Lord. And there's an LDS Living article. President Nelson's promise for those who spend time in the temple. And I'm not going to read it, but, it's very short. Maybe I will. Wait, is this the same thing? No.
It's just the 3 blessings or 3 promises.
Here, I'll read it real quick.
Yeah.
As President Nelson dedicated the Deseret Peak, Utah temple, the 200th house of the Lord of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, he expressed hope that those in the new temple district would arrange their lives to attend as regularly as possible. Time in the temple will change a person's life. The temple is a place of peace and power, and spending time there will literally change a person's life, President Nelson said. President Nelson made a similar promise to Latter-day Saints worldwide after announcing, and don't go away, folks, this is very short, we're going to talk about it, Terry and I. New temple locations at the conclusion of April 2018 General Conference, his first conference as president of the church. My dear brothers and sisters, construction of these temples may not change your life, but your time in the temple surely will. In that spirit, I bless you to identify those things you can set aside so you can spend more time in the temple, President Nelson said in his talk titled, Let Us All Press On. In almost every general conference in his 6+ years as president of the church, President Nelson has emphasized the importance of temple worship and made specific and powerful promises to those who spend regular time in the house of the Lord. I'm almost done with this, but I'm going to say, we're going to talk about this because keep this in mind, folks. Temples are built right at each dispensation. They are.
Yeah.
Whether there's 1, 2, or how many do we have now? 350 or something?
Yeah, that's a lot.
And he's been involved with half of those announced and being built. Do you know that?
Wild.
So I'm going to finish the rest of it, but keep that in mind. And every time the Lord has come to the earth,
Yeah.
temples were built because they're the house of the Lord.
Right.
So he's got to stay somewhere when he comes here,
Yeah.
right?
He's got to have a lot of spots to.
And that's actually very real. It will. Let me read this and we'll talk. It will help open the heavens. This is my favorite part. Nothing opens the heavens quite like the combination of increased purity, exact obedience, earnest seeking, daily feasting on the words of Christ in the Book of Mormon, and regular time committed to temple and family history. Amazing. The Lord will bring needed miracles. And this is almost done, folks, and then we're going to talk. My dear brothers and sisters, the assaults of the adversary are increasing exponentially in intensity and variety. Our need to be in the temple on a regular basis has never been greater. I plead with you to take a prayerful look at how you spend your time, invest time in your future and in that of your family. If you have reasonable access to a temple, I urge you to find a way to make an appointment regularly with the Lord to be in his holy house. Then keep that appointment with exactness and joy. I promise you that the Lord will bring the miracles he knows you need as you make sacrifices to serve and worship in his temples. Terry, here's your question. You ready?
Yeah.
So, Terry, some are saying, and even our close friends and relatives in the church who are very active, and I know this for a fact, and we're going to talk about that steak video because I did a video a few days ago, and you're a witness.
Yep.
You listened to that video.
I did.
But I can't play it because there's policy saying that you can't record steak conferences. They discourage that. So I wasn't going to play it, but we're going to talk about the second coming. We're going to talk about stake presidents being counseled, being trained to prepare us for the second coming of Jesus Christ. But some are saying, close friends and relatives, that President Nelson is getting old. Well, that's an understatement. He's been getting old for 40 years. But that he's close to going through the veil, and that's why he's saying, prepare for the second coming.
Because he's preparing for his
Because he's prepared for his second coming. What say you?
Well, okay, so what say I? I say, yeah, you know, that's an opinion. I think that there's a lot of different opinions out there. I think if there is one that is closer to the veil than another, they're probably going to be a lot closer to Revelation. That's going to be a little probably more accurate. So it would make sense to me that we're building temples in preparation for Christ's return. I think that going to the temple, like he said, is going to bring us a lot of these blessings that we need more than ever. And unfortunately, our temple is going to be down for the next 6 months for renovation.
Yeah,
so,
the Fresno temple.
Yeah, unfortunately. I was able to get in there to do some work for a friend last month. This gal in Jamaica, her brother was murdered at work.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I was able to do the baptism for him, the everything, all the way through the endowment. And so she was so happy that I was able to do that for her because they don't have a temple in Jamaica currently.
Why? I thought they have one there.
No, not. They have to go to Dominican Republic, I believe.
Why don't they have? Because the church
They don't
isn't
have
that big there.
They have to have a certain amount of full tithe paying priesthood holders before they get one, and they haven't met that goal yet. So once they do, then they'll build a temple. But that's always been the goal. When I went down there in 2003, that was, the main focus is let's get priesthood holders so we can have a temple, and they still don't have one. It's been 20 years.
Wow.
So I was able to do the work for her brother, and then a month after that, her sister passed away. So I need to get her work done, but the temple's down. So I'm like reaching out to family to help out.
Well, you're a good man.
It's kind of cool. It was really,
And I know you
really
mentioned
neat.
you served in Jamaica. So which mission in Jamaica?
Kingston.
How many missions are in Jamaica?
Oh, handful. I don't know the exact number. Probably 15 or. Well, hold on. How many missions? It's its own mission.
Oh, that's it.
That's it. I thought
Okay.
you were talking about like zones or
So
whatever.
Jamaica just has one mission.
Yeah, Jamaica
Okay.
has one mission, and it includes the Cayman Islands.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think is increasing in intensity when the Lord when our prophet is saying prepare for the second coming of Jesus Christ, that the most amazing things are going to happen? Do you, in your mind's eye, we're not setting any dates, brothers and sisters, but in your mind's eye, how do you feel personally when he says prepare for the second coming? Are you thinking 7 to 10 years?
I hear that a lot, and I watch a lot of videos and people's opinions. I don't have one. I just feel like I need to always be prepared and to live my life every day as it comes. So, I hope it's in 10 years. I hope it's in 5 years. If it's in 50 years, that's fine too. But as of right now, I really don't have a timeline in my mind.
Yeah, I don't either. I find people like Vaughn J. Featherstone interesting, where he firmly believed in a certain time.
Yeah.
It could be he's preparing this generation to prepare the next generation for this. Who knows
Sure.
what our prophet is feeling. But when I did my man on the street interviews, bro, and I'm talking to non-members, I'm talking to people of all faiths, even Muslims, brother, that they believe that Jesus is a prophet and they believe that he's coming back. That's part of their doctrine. And they will even say there's something going on. The world is wicked. These are unprecedented times. We've never been in a time like now, technologically, intellectually, emotionally, psychologically. It is a time of going to and fro. It is an information age.
Right.
I don't think we're not close.
Right. I agree. Yeah. I agree. I think the world is getting more wicked, but at the same time, the world is getting more righteous people. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that separation is getting a lot more steep, where the wicked is getting wickeder and the righteous are becoming more righteous, and that separation is becoming more stinctual, where you know it, you can feel it, and you can see it.
Is this a worn out phrase? Is President Oaks going to go the other way if and when he becomes prophet? Not the other way. Is President Oaks going to wane on this message? No, I don't think so. I think this is coming from our Heavenly Father.
I think we have a lot of legal battles coming up. And
Do you?
Yeah, I do. With the church I think the church is going to become a big center point and under attack. Did you see that new video that came out on Netflix? It was about the Mormons in the.
We're being we're going to start getting persecuted.
That's what I think. I think that's going to be the next thing, is the persecution of the saints, and I think Oaks is going to be the perfect prophet to have in place to help fight a lot of the legal issues that I think the church is going to face.
What's going on? I haven't seen it. What's that?
There's just more and more things coming out on. So Netflix has this one. It's called Primeval something Frontier, and it talks about the Mormons being kind of like these bullies, like this gang of militia that were just a bunch of it.
Are you kidding me?
No.
And it's false.
It was called
it's
America.
fake.
It's called American.
But you know what?
Primeval.
People that know us, bro,
oh, I know.
they know that's not true.
Yeah, but a lot of them don't. They think Brigham Young and all of the Zion's camp and all of them were out to just be a bunch of bullies and punks, and I think I watched the first episode while I was on the elliptical at the gym, and I was just kind of like, what? This is not church doctrine at all. And I think a lot of this kind of stuff that's coming out, murder among the Mormons, sins of our mother, like there's just so much of this stuff.
And then they connect us, they tie us in, even though people know we're not tied in. Some people don't. With the FLDS church,
well, and this is
with other polygamists.
Yeah, this is the only doctrine they're getting is through this kind of social media or media in general. They're not getting it from the missionaries or the Book of Mormon or what I mean. This is their education of our church.
Maybe YouTube might shut us down someday here.
Yeah.
They might be like, no Latter-day Saint stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Wow.
That would be a shame, but
but hopefully censorship's going the other way. Woke is kind of dying, I think.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's not going to die. Maybe it wanes and then it
comes back,
revamps itself quickly. I hope not. Or are we going back into the 80s and 90s kind of time where
hope so.
Life was just normal,
Yeah, simple.
When comedians can get up and just be a comedian.
I'm sorry, it's just not going to go back.
You know
it's
what,
only
though,
gonna
bro?
get worse.
A lot of young people, even that didn't live during there's a lot of young people that didn't even live during that time that don't like what they were raised with, which was wokeism.
Yeah.
And
that's true.
They were raised from the time they were 10 and now they're 20.
Right.
And they're like, nah, this isn't cool.
Yeah. That's true.
I want to be like my great grandpa in World War II or World War,
Yeah, which could also take a sharp turn in a warmongering society.
Before I forget, brothers and sisters, if you are enjoying the content, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ding the bell for notifications. Your support means the world to me and helps the channel grow. And hey, if you want to contribute to the program, I do prefer Venmo first, then Cash App, then PayPal, then Zelle. And I've got cool products. I got cool merch. That's all being designed. I get a percentage of it. And that's if you're interested. Remember, your comments are what keep this community thriving. So drop your thoughts below. And if you're feeling extra generous, consider becoming a YouTube member or sending a super thanks right there. The button's right below the screen during our videos. Now back to the topic.
But we could be persecuted. And this all ties into the second coming. How do we know? Because I put out a video about, I don't know if it's coming out before or after this one, about how much we don't know. A lot of our leaders just say, we don't know. So if we don't know, that means we don't really know when events are going to happen. And people are saying, well, we're not close to the second coming because this has to happen and that has to happen. You don't know when that's supposed to happen. That could happen after the millennium. No, because it specifically says, it doesn't matter. Some of the men that write in the scriptures, even apostles in this day, had opinions as well. So they have revelation. Like how I use that analogy about hitting the dartboard?
Yeah.
And about revelation's like hitting the dartboard, but not always hitting the bullseye. But you're in the circumference.
Vicinity of it. Yeah.
Right. That's revelation.
Got it.
So let me say this real quick. We might give you some talking points. Netflix, right? Several documentaries and series that explore various aspects of Mormonism and related topics. Keep Sweet, remember that?
Mm-hmm.
FLDS,
Praying
murder
away.
among the Mormons, signs of our mother,
Sins of our mother.
sins of our mother, and American Primeval, what you're talking about.
Yeah, that was.
While not exclusively about Mormons, this limited series,
Yeah.
This limited series dramatizes the clash between cultures, religions, and communities in the American West. It features Kim Coates portraying Brigham Young. And even, what's his name? Voight. John Voight, Can't Stand Us. That's John Voight? Is that
Yeah.
his name?
The Netflix guy. That guy.
No. Angelina Jolie's dad.
Oh,
The actor.
Really?
Oh yeah, he
I didn't know
hates
that.
Mormons. He's a Christian. He's anti-Mormon like he
wow.
made movies about us. And he played, I think he played either he didn't play Brigham Young. He played another character in the movie, but I think he directed it. But it says about American Primeval. These productions offer varying perspectives on Mormon history, culture. No, you don't. And related events, providing viewers with a range of content. But yeah, persecution, brother. Could this be a way? You know how we didn't know COVID was ever we didn't know that was ever gonna happen.
No.
Maybe we're, as Latter-day, we didn't know that our church would be divided like it is today.
No.
Could we be facing the second coming soon?
We could. I mean, and that's what I'm saying. We could, or it might be longer. I really don't want to put a timeline on it, but I do think that I do think that Oaks is going to be in that position for a reason. With his background and what his knowledge is in the judicial system, I think that he is going to be the perfect prophet for the times that we're coming.
He's a Brigham Young.
Yeah.
Because President Nelson
Yeah.
is a Joseph Smith. He says a lot of things that the prophet Joseph said. They're almost identical. He's just like Joseph Smith, taught almost identical things. And Oaks seems like a hard-nosed. Oaks would be the guy to get us across the plains. Right?
Yeah. He's got that. He's got that rough. Yeah. He would be a great leader for those circumstances.
Yeah.
I would love it.
So we could face that. What if we were to go into this persecution? I guess we could say we are that would be saying we're in a tribulation period then.
Yeah. Well, and the times of the Gentiles are over.
Yeah. That's why I think our prophet isn't. You notice how he doesn't emphasize. Remember the threefold mission of the church?
I do, but I couldn't quote it
Well,
to you right now.
it's proclaim the gospel, perfect the saints, and redeem the dead. This prophet doesn't emphasize the first one that much, does he? About proclaiming the gospel to our neighbors.
He talks about gathering Israel.
Right, but mostly on the other side of the veil, going to the temple. This prophet has spoke mostly to the members that are already members of the church.
Yeah. About personal revelation, right? Like boosting that up.
Well, it's because you said the time of the Gentiles.
Oh, okay.
Now you're contradicting me, dude. What are you doing? No, I'm playing. The time of the Gentiles, Terry. It is basically, have we been warned already? Is the world been warned? Because they're going to have the millennium to do more missionary work. But I'm saying, as far as opening a window for the second coming, has that part been? Because let's go back to that video.
Okay.
Treadway said there's two things left, and our prophet has said there's only two things left to do.
Mm-hmm.
Gather Israel and the second coming.
Yeah.
That's it. That means there are no other events, brother.
Yeah.
And people are going to argue with me.
Yeah.
What I mean is there are no other prophecies waiting. That means the temple, third temple, could be something we don't quite understand yet.
Mm-hmm.
The two witnesses, maybe something we don't quite understand yet. Maybe the two witnesses are the two things that need to be done, and when they die in the street, that means they're done. No, forget that. What I'm saying is, and the New Jerusalem, we don't know when that can happen, but here's the point. Yeah. The point is that even Joseph Smith progressed in his thinking and revelation about what Zion really meant. At one time, it was Jackson County. And then later he realized that the stakes of Zion could be all over the world. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So my point here is we could be there close. And the video that I played for you.
No, that was legit. And that stake president was definitely on it. He was like, okay, this is getting real. This is getting serious here. And there's no more just joking around. Like, this is serious. And it's kind of interesting, talking about temples, because I don't know where this came from, but a lot of the youth temple trips over in Utah, they after they would go to the temple, they would go to In-N-Out Burger,
right,
and have
that was the thing.
And now
they go to Chick-fil-A.
No, the church told them to stop going out after these.
The church
trips.
or the steak?
The church. I believe it's the church. Yeah, hold on. Let's pull this up, because I was surprised. I'm like, there was a big thing, and people were like,
is it because it made it irreverent? I don't know. Thou shalt not eat cheeseburgers after ordinances. Cheeseburgers and ordinances don't mix.
The calories gained isn't worth the spirit lost.
Dude.
You click on the
oh, yeah.
Is that okay? Oh, okay. Local decision.
It's a local. Maybe that was our stake president. It's a local decision to go to In-N-Out.
Why would they stop?
Because Chick-fil-A didn't want Mormons. They didn't want to be associated with the church anymore, and neither did In-N-Out because they're Christian. And I don't think we're allowed to shop at Hobby Lobby anymore either. No, I'm joking. But
okay,
that was a rumor. Rumor has it. It's
like, are you kidding me? That's like, as a youth, that's one of the best parts of going to the temple.
Oh, wait. What's this? What does that say?
Dear brothers and sisters, after careful consideration and with a desire to simplify temple operations, cafeterias and temples around the world will be closed.
Oh, that was during the pandemic. That was during the pandemic.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's not anything. Well, but you know what? There is a point to be made there.
Why would they do that?
But that's not.
Why? I don't know. That's just kind of interesting.
I don't want to get off topic. Yeah. But I think, I don't know. There's nothing wrong with motivate. It's like, hey, we'll go to In-N-Out Burger if you go do baptisms for the dead. Okay.
It just sounds funny.
And then they have a spiritual experience. And sometimes you do bribe your kid to go on a mission with a new car.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you bribe your kids to eat their vegetables for ice cream. You know, like,
right.
You have to
remember that rich kid that rich companion you had that was like, when I get home, I'm going to have this, the new car. And mom and dad got me in college already. And oh, you creep.
Yeah.
No. Don't be jealous because somebody has goodly parents. Stop bashing the kid that has goodly parents that was born. I, Troy, having been born to alcoholics and schizophrenics. That's first Troy.
I'm going to quote that one.
Got me out of there quickly.
No, I do think that maybe that's it. The end of the Gentiles is coming. We're going to get persecuted, and we're going to need that kind of guidance.
But that means we could have been warned. Time of the Gentiles, the world has been trumpeted. Remember when Moroni's trumpet dropped?
Yes, I do.
Could that be a sign that the world has been warned? That there's no more warning?
Well, yeah, possibly.
I
for
mean, we
sure.
know the millennium's going to be the gospel preached, but I'm talking about before the second coming.
Yeah, yeah. No, it was really. I think so. I don't discredit any of that stuff. I think that there's a reason for all of the things that happen, and that was probably something. I mean, when I saw it happen, I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
time to shape up, right?
Right.
And I think a lot of people felt that way. But you know how it is when you look back at something 5 or 10 years later and you're just kind of like, nah. And
Maybe
you discredit it.
Or maybe just the glue dried.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people do that. I think a lot of people look back and they're like, nah. They
They forget.
They forget.
Yeah. I mean, look at Samuel the Lamanite.
Mm-hmm.
Is
5 years later, right?
Is our prophet today a Samuel the Lamanite?
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
Totally. So I think the time of the Gentiles is tied in with, and when I say the world has been warned, I don't mean that everyone has heard the gospel, because that's what the millennium is going to be. All the righteous that need to hear the gospel, they're going to be here. The wicked will be in spirit prison, and we will still have missionaries preaching to them. And people are like, no, no, because Judgment Day isn't till after the millennium.
Yep. Exactly.
And people forget that.
Yeah. And a lot of people are going to be here for the millennium. You got to remember, it's the terrestrial and celestial beings that will be here during the millennium.
Yep.
Right?
So the gospel will still get preached.
Yes, because there'll be a lot of people that have to be converted still.
But what I mean is, have we penetrated every continent virtually, so to speak? And some people don't believe. We had kind of a debate in this in Elders Quorum about that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't mind if you bring it up, but I had a big disagreement with somebody in Elders Quorum.
Yeah.
Sorry. I haven't eaten all day.
I had a big breakfast burrito this morning. I'm just
Oh.
going to tell you that real quick. And it was so good. It was amazing.
I don't think they have breakfast burritos in Utah. Just kidding.
No,
Okay.
they're good. They're good here.
No, they're eating like poutine or something like that.
Ugh.
But here's the thing. Penetrate every continent. Okay, so our debate was, does the internet count?
Right.
I don't think it shouldn't.
Yeah.
We have internet missionaries.
We do. We do.
I didn't have time to bring that up in Elders Quorum because I was scolded. That was horrible. I got yelled at, by the way, guys, by a good brother that I love. We go way back.
Poor boy Troy. It's okay.
But anyway, so that's what I mean. So we're looking at possible persecution.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Because we have not been persecuted yet, brothers and sisters. I just don't think we have.
We haven't.
And we've got to go through that.
Yeah.
We were persecuted
in the 1800s, significantly, when they drove us out of Missouri, Jackson County, right? Like, there was a ton of persecution at that point, but I think we're getting ready for a second round here. We haven't been persecuted, and I think that's probably going to be the next step in this whole second coming lineup. It's kind of interesting, as I talked to somebody and they said, the second coming already happened. Where have you been? And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like, yeah, Christ already came when he visited Joseph Smith. Boom, second coming done. And I was just like,
those are people that don't really believe their own faith.
Yeah, it's just.
Well, let's go have fun in our summer cottages.
Yeah, it's over.
Mm.
Okay.
So he's never coming back again?
I don't know. I don't know.
This was a good brother that goes to the temple and everything?
Oh no, it was a conversation on the internet.
Oh,
Yeah.
I bet you there's Latter-day Saints that believe that too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
People get mad. Who was it that said, maybe it was in the comment section where they said, my family is sick and tired of the brethren talking about the second coming and people at church talking about the prepare for the second coming. We don't even talk about it anymore in our home.
Really?
And
Wow.
here's the people that go to the temple.
Wow. Well, it's exciting. Why wouldn't you want to talk about it? It's awesome.
Because I still have my retirement I want to enjoy.
Okay. Okay. Is that you still want to go to In and Out?
Right. Because that's what a baptism's all about.
That's what well, I've always enjoyed talking about the second coming my whole life. I loved it. My parents love it. It's exciting. It's fun. We're living in the last dispensation. It's the end of days. It's the most exciting of times. And if you want to ignore and get away from all that, like, we got climate change and
Yeah.
did you ever see that spiral of climate change over the last 100 or 200 years and how now it's exponentially increasing to where it's just super hot right now? What's that going to do? Melt the polar caps and destroy a third of the... No, that's going to be wormwood, right?
Well,
When's wormwood coming? Come on.
First of all, the greatest scientist on this earth doesn't know how the climate was 500 years ago.
Yeah.
We just don't know. We know a little bit, but I think the Lord has something in operation here that if it is going to happen, if climate change is like a reality, then it was programmed that way by God for a reason.
Right.
Because he didn't make a mistake.
Right.
It wouldn't be like, oh, I forgot to calculate climate change into this.
Yeah.
Yeah. But let me say, outright persecution, maybe not on the scale we think, but the scale seen in the 19th century, is that unlikely in the United States today? I don't think so. We kind of got persecuted already. I mean, many people ideologically on one side got persecuted for voting for a certain president. But was that persecution? Well, some people were. Look at if you ask somebody during the January 6th riots, they're being persecuted, brother.
Yeah.
That is real persecution right there.
Yeah.
46% of Mormons, Latter-day Saints, say they face a lot of discrimination in the United States. 62% believe the American public is uninformed about the church, and 68% feel that the church is not seen as part of a mainstream American society. So, while violent persecution is maybe improbable, or is it probable, the church could face a lot of social and legal pressures, right?
Exactly. Legal pressures. So the issue I can see coming forth in the next, few years, well, while Trump's in office, I feel like we have more freedom right now. But if we continue down the path later on with another president like Biden, where we were getting censored, could our freedom of religion be taken away? You think about all of the different challenges that we have to face currently as a church with the change in, wokeism and our tax exempt status. I mean, we are the richest church in the world, and we've got,
Do you think
all
that
sorts
could
of
cause
pressures.
persecution too?
And it already has, to a degree where people are so upset when that information came out that they had donated and that they're, given their tithing, and then they want the church to spend it a certain way. And it's like, hey, no, that's not how this works.
Right.
You pay your tithing like everyone else does, and the church is directed by God to spend it the way it spends it. It doesn't matter what they spend their money on. It's not our call. The Lord blesses us with everything that we need and more when we pay our tithing. It doesn't matter what our tithing. That's a whole nother subject we can go into, right? Tithing.
Right.
No, what we're going to be facing, I think, is going to be more of a legal battle. And I think that's why we have President Oaks going to be taking the mantle at some point, and he's going to help.
Could we see a time where people are going to deny that they're almost like Peter denying Christ? Aren't you a Mormon? No, I a long time ago I was. I'm not. You know?
Yeah.
Hey, don't you in other words, let's rephrase it. Aren't you a representative of Jesus Christ? No. I converted to Catholicism. Oh, that's worse too. Oh, wait, no. No. I'm a Buddhist now. Or I don't know. I stopped going. I'm not active. I'm agnostic. Could you see people denying that they're a member of the church?
If their life is threatened and their way of life.
Maybe not by society, but maybe by the government even threatened.
Well, and you think about this mark of the beast, right? Coming out and people having denied that and not following the Antichrist and the persecution that comes because of that.
Whatever that means. That could just be you don't buy or sell without being part of the system.
Yeah, and with the way technology is going right now, with quantum computing, I can see this technology taking place very soon.
Yeah.
Very soon. It's we're seeing it today. That's scary.
Right. We have COVID brain. Terry and I have bad COVID brain. We're going to forget someday that it's called COVID. Like, what kind of brain do I have again?
Yeah.
So your prediction, I'm just throwing this up there. Your prediction is second coming, maybe soon, whatever that means, 10, 15 years, 7 years, 5 years. It could be 5 years, could be 7 years. By the way, just a quick, I'm going to have a guy, I don't know if you've ever heard of, dang it, COVID brain again. I'm going to have a guy, he's Jewish, and he knows the calendars, and he's written books. He actually translates Bibles, and he knows several different languages. This guy's a genius. He knows the 66 books. He's a Messianic Jew. He converted to Christianity.
Oh, cool.
He's going to come on the program next month, and he is amazing. He thinks the Savior's coming within 5 years.
Wow.
And I'm not date setting, brothers and sisters, and he's not either. When you get to talk to him, he's like, I don't know when he's coming, but as far as the Jewish calendar is concerned, and he goes through this whole thing, and it's not hoopla.
Mm-hmm.
It's real.
Yeah.
And he's like, you don't pay attention to the European calendar.
Mm-hmm.
This is the deal here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But we don't know. So this prediction, and what is his name? Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Let me look at his. Garth, wait, no, it's Andrew Gabriel Roth. And he has written books and translated Bibles even. And he's like talking about things in the Old Testament that I'm just going over my head, bro. I'm like, I'm going to go sit here in the corner and pretend I didn't ask you to come on the program. Like he's going to be fun. So he's coming on the 17th of February.
Oh, fun.
And it's going to be very, very fun. But he is, let me just say this real quick and then we'll wrap it up. He's written the apostolic writings and like 7 other different books. And it's crazy, awesome, amazing. I met him through Celeste Solum.
Oh.
Yeah. who is my female Joel Skousen that comes on the program. But anyway, we need to wrap it up. What? Any last words? Oh, wait. I was going to ask you. Oh, wait. So the prediction is maybe soon, but maybe President Oaks is our prophet someday, maybe, and unless he passes away before President Nelson. And he might be a Brigham Young type that gets us over these proverbial plains. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on the program, Terry. Thanks for having me. All right. We'll see you every 2 weeks. April 17th through, I forgot, I'm going to have commercials for the Firm Conference. I'm going to be there again. Hold on. Don't forget, folks, Book of Mormon Evidence Conference. This will be the 35th International Book of Mormon Evidence Conference, the Firm Foundation Expo. It'll be at the Salt Lake City Center, Gail Miller Campus Building 2 and 3, 9750 South 300 West Sandy, Utah 84070. That's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And that's April 17th through 19th, brother, 2025. All right, folks. And we'll be seeing Terry on the program a couple times a month. Not seeing him. Well, maybe we'll see him soon. But we'll be doing both, maybe audio and visual, with the vocal vortex. All right. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.